We start with an update out of Afghanistan. A two-star Army general is now dead, killed in one of those insider attacks at a military base in Kabul. That according to several media reports. Now, in addition to that, a U.S. official has also confirmed that another dozen or so Americans were injured in the attack. The gunman was reportedly wearing an Afghan Army uniform. He opened fire during a meeting attended by several high-ranking U.S. troops and NATO forces. A German general was also reportedly shot. U.S. officials say the death toll could rise because many of the injuries were quite severe. Also, police in England say they have a man now in custody after making a hoax bomb threat aboard an inbound Qatar Airlines flight. Before everyone knew it was a hoax, British military officials scrambled fighter jets to escort that plane as it approached the airport in Manchester. This after the pilot notified officials about a suspicious device on board or report thereof. Passengers were also allowed off the plane after police finally apprehended the suspect. Now check this out. Many of the plane's passengers whipped out their cell phones and started rolling here. This video was shot and posted on Instagram shortly after the terror scare was announced. Again, that flight did in fact land safely today. Police have the guy in custody who called in that fake bomb scare. Back here in the U.S., where this nation is also on high alert as concern about the Ebola virus continues to spread. Nancy Whitebull, a missionary worker from Africa, or who was in Africa. She's now back in the U.S. and on U.S. soil. She's being treated at the same Atlanta area hospital where Kent Brantley is also being treated for Ebola. The two Americans were receiving an experimental drug and treatment to combat the virus, which has already killed more than 800 people in Western Africa. The U.S. government, through the CDC, says it's working on stemming the historically awful outbreak in Africa.
This is, as the CDC has assessed, probably the most damaging and dangerous outbreak of Ebola that we have seen so far.
Nationally, no word yet on any cases here in the U.S. The State Department also stressing it's unlikely the Ebola virus will spread here in the U.S. So now we turn our attention to Philadelphia, where a single mom faces up to 3 years in prison for carrying a licensed firearm. Shanine Allen was pulled over by police in Atlantic City, New Jersey, which is about an hour outside of Philly. The 27-year-old mother of two told police officers she had a handgun in her car and presented her concealed weapons permit from Pennsylvania. Unfortunately, her license was not valid in New Jersey. Allen was arrested on handgun charges, and prosecutors say they expect pretrial hearings on this case to start very soon, possibly this week. I'm John Bachman. More news ahead in 30 minutes. Now back to Ed in Midpoint.